in Florida. This is all during the pandemic. And my dad actually wound up with coronavirus. And thank God for Shipt. I wound up working for Shipt during the pandemic. Anyway, I was so desperate because really bad, weird things were happening wherever I worked. So I was a substitute teacher, and the private school was better, but they didn't need as much work. Public schools, of course, need work almost every day because of how bad it is out there in the world, just in general. But ugly scene, things unfolded just as a substitute. And it's like, I don't want to look like someone who gets in trouble. Like, I don't get in trouble. But people are trying to create situations to get people in trouble. So at one point, I actually talked to someone in the trucking world, because they kept CR England, which has locations in a lot of states. They were recruiting, and they do recruit women. And logically, someone like me should never wind up in the world. But it seemed a viable option, because when you're desperate and you can't figure out where do I get a job? There's nothing. I try here, I try there. Like, I can't sit around for 2 years with no income. They don't even help you in unemployment, because you would have to have like a totally clear reason for not working. It's hard to prove. Like, my case is hard to prove. So I can't say, well, I left substitute teaching because of how bad I was afraid to get in trouble, of how badly people are provoking people, and people are actually orchestrating situations in classrooms. And I don't know how aware people are or publicized this is, but I was like, whoa, we got to get out of here. So I had to fly the public school coop. I don't love teaching anyway. I'm not really good with kids per se, but substitutes can, in general, you could get away with just sitting there and not, I would actually recommend that. Don't try to be a teacher. I know people are trying to prove that they're teachers. Maybe they go to school to be a teacher. I happen to have an English degree. Technically, I have a master's now. I got a master's a lot later, as a way to try to escape something that started in 2011. I thought maybe that would work. Thank God for the bill on, whether or not you pay your student loans, but thanks, Biden. So anyway, and what groups, might be eligible. So anyway, point being, I actually was like, maybe I'll try this. I will try this trucking thing. I was in such a bad situation that I was like, I don't know what else to do for money. And they talk it up a certain way, and they're like, you can drive as a woman, and so forth and so on. So I wound up taking, because they pay for this, a Greyhound bus from Gainesville, Florida to Salt Lake City, Utah. Okay. Oh, hi, sweet. Oh, there's a squirrel on the. Hi, sweet. And I think I was sad because I was in such a desperate state to earn money from anywhere. I even worked at Starbucks, there are people with, who don't have as much, and I don't mean to class people, but they don't have as much education as I do, or the type of work experience that I have, and they've never had to work. I worked at Burger King, was my first job in high school, and they've never had to do these things. It does bother me that, but girls got to earn a living. I kind of wonder how other people are supported. I guess if you get married, and if you're lucky, maybe someone, that still holds true. But anyway, so rode the Greyhound bus from Gainesville, Florida and wow, what a nightmare. That's enough for you to want to turn around crying, go back home. But they even had a snowstorm. This is out in Colorado near Breckenridge. I think we actually went past Breckenridge. They took like an alternate route. There are two routes to continue west or northwest through Colorado. They actually went on the ice, I think it would be the icier path. I don't know why they didn't take the better path. There was word on the bus, because the people who got picked up along the way were all going to see our England, turns out. Like, so in a way it's like orchestrated, like, but not everybody on the bus was going there, but a lot were. And there was talk like, okay, he decided to go up and around this way instead of another way. Anyway, we had to stay at a hotel overnight to let the storm pass. They paid for all that. Anyway, what a nightmare, Sierra England. And then it came down to finding trainers and people who didn't smoke, because I'm not a smoker. It was like a clown show. It got really weird. And it's like, oddly, then the pandemic, I came back from Sierra England not having yet started a certain portion, which is over-the-road training. I still got my CDL Class A. I still have a license for proof. I passed all the tests. I passed the driving test. But once you get the CDL Class A, technically you're supposed to have 1 year of over-the-road, what they call over-the-road training. And that puts you in the world of credibility to get a job. What I found out from all this is most trucking companies pay, it's almost like Shipped, it's a courier service. You sign up for load, or you bid for loads. So like there's a queue. We need someone to pick up an order in, Utah and drive it to California. I don't know. And you have to put a bid in. Oh, I want that one because I'm conveniently nearby at the Walmart. I could run over. You would have to know the roads. They have Qualcomm as their system, which I think is rare. They kind of spoke a lot about Qualcomm, like Qualcomm, spelled like Q-U-A-L. Anyway, my mom lived on Quail Court, but they changed the whole address system before I got there. It was Quail Court, and then they went, instead of bird street names, they changed them all to numbers. 8534 Northwest 40th Terrace instead of Quail Court in Turkey Creek Forest. You know what I mean? So anyway, I decided to return home because here, this is a little interesting tidbit, but I'm of a certain age, and there was a missed menstrual. And I was like, that's weird, I have a missed menstrual. It turns out it was the beginning of menopause, but I'm actually 53. So, but it came back in full force, like double the pain, double everything. Right when I would have gotten in with a trainer to ride all over the place. And it's almost as if Mother Nature or someone way up there is saying, I don't know who put you up to this, but you're not riding it. You will not be driving a truck. First of all, you're a woman, and most people know, like, it's harder for women to do a job like that. It's rough out there. I really don't have friends in low places, if you were to say it that way. But I was willing to do anything to try to find a way to earn a living. I couldn't believe how hard it was. Every door closed wherever I looked. I was able to teach a writing course at the local